Hi everyone, and welcome back to Helping Hands Through Haley's Heart, and happy Thanksgiving to you all. This season I will be showing a two-part series paying a tribute to Mr. Fred Rogers. He is from the television series Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. As some of you know, his movie is set to air this month, and I believe he truly is the perfect person to encompass the definition of gratitude, vulnerability, kindness, and love, which couldn't be more perfect for the holiday season. This month we will be discussing gratitude with value. Now, I grew up with his show as a child, along with many of you. But just last year, in his documentary called Would You Be My Neighbor, is when I started to truly appreciate what he had to offer. And I believe it's something we should all consider in our lives today, especially during this holiday season. Fred Rogers was a simple minimalist when it came to TV, but little did we know his series would become radical and very, very inclusive. From what I've learned, Fred grew up as a child of privilege, but also with a lot of medical issues. He suffered from scarlet fever, so he was in the house a lot. This kept him isolated in his room, where he said that he had to make up his own fun. This brought much gratitude to his life, I can imagine, where he had many other um, times to use his imagination, but never to take our health for granted. And I think that's so important and something that we all need to think about, specifically during the holidays. Our health is a big one, mental health is a big one, and we need to make sure that we're not taking these things for granted, as some people don't have that opportunity as we do. Around the time Fred became Mr. Rogers on the show, this was a time for a lot of the child psychologists to learn more about attachment theory and all that stuff. So he made himself a huge part of that. His importance was creating safety and understanding for children that he was around, and I think that that is so, so important within our relationships today and really all that we're looking for. He encountered diverse and conflicting tragedies on his show, such as war, assassinations, 9/11, but he always remained grateful and giving to everyone around him, and that is truly so admirable. This world has certainly caused us a lot of fear and a lot of scare. Sometimes we feel alone, but this holiday season I want to discuss, even in times of despair, how we can feel valued just as much as Mr. Rogers did. Mr. Rogers ended his show with a song every time, and it was called I Like You As You Are. But he also made a great point about our sense of self. And he said that we can't grow unless we accept the way we are. And this statement I found extremely powerful and connected with. Mr. Rogers also emphasized this idea that we are all unique and, most importantly, special. We don't always feel that way, but if we put forth the energy and compassion we have seen from him, I truly believe that we can help each other believe that we are. This also comes with patience as we continue to learn about ourselves every day as we grow and change. There is a lot of fear and anxieties that we feel around this time of year, such as where will I be next year, and the expectations for my relationships may be coming up. Also, our family expectations for the holiday season, Christmas and Thanksgiving. But Mr. Rogers emphasized the idea that the outside world of a child's life has changed, but the inside hasn't. And this is so true for all of us, even as adults. We encounter the same insecurities and fears as we did when we were little. But if we didn't feel this way, we also have to remember that we wouldn't have vulnerability, which is, I think, one of the most beautiful things that we possibly could have and share with our loved ones. So it shouldn't be shunned away, but vulnerability should be honored instead. It's not easy to quiet the inner critic, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, but as Mr. Rogers says, the most important learning is the ability to accept and expect mistakes, and then deal with the disappointments that they bring. We can only accomplish this if we try and show our vulnerability to our loved ones, and we can do that through kindness this holiday season. Let's celebrate this month of gratitude around the table with maybe our family, our friends, and think about our only job that we have. And Mr. Rogers says that that is to show down-to-earth goodness and people caring for one another. which also includes, I guess, caring for ourselves and all the special things that make us who we are. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next month for the second part of this video.